Hey guys, Clifford Stummy here. I'm the Pop Song Professor. If you like deeper meanings to your music or music videos, then you've come to the right channel. Today we're talking about Imagine Dragons' song Thunder, and we're talking about the music video. In fact, I was just sitting down to film this when the music video came out, so I've watched the music video like 3 times through. I've got a ton of notes on it, and I'm going to explain to you what I'm seeing in this music video. Now, of course, I'm not going to be posting this music video in my video because record labels be crazy and I don't want this video taken down. So I recommend that you've watched the video first and then come back and check out my video. Other than that, feel free to comment an Imagine Dragons song that you think that I should explain next time. They are a fantastic band and I would love to explain more of their music. Highest voted comment has a very, very good chance of that song being explained next time. But let's jump into it. So as far as the lyrics go, this song is about one very simple theme, and it's, Dan Reynolds as the lead singer is singing it, so we're going to assume that this is from his perspective, but he's basically singing about being a child and dreaming bigger than all of his other peers. So while they were just laughing or goofing off or not daring to dream big, he was thinking to himself, how can I make, something for the masses? It's actually, a line that he has in there. And so the song is about him doing that, and that he draws a connection there to him being the lightning. So there's this flash of light, this idea, this hot, intense energy. And now he's the thunder. He's rolling, and it's this thunder of success as it continues to roll and roar with, the sound that thunder makes. I want to highlight a few quick lyrics. He calls himself just a young gun with a quick fuse. It says he was uptight and wanted to let loose. I was dreaming of bigger things, want to leave my own life behind. So he wants big things. He says later he's not a follower. He's dreaming. He wants to move on from his town or wherever he lives, or just the environment he lives in, and wants to do something bigger. He doesn't fit the mold, and he's not going to take a seat in the foyer or take a number. He was the lightning before the thunder. Now in verse 2, he says that kids were laughing in his class while he was scheming for the masses. So this is him trying to make something big that a lot of other people will relate to. And that's honestly a place where this song really connects with me personally. That's part of the reason I actually do this channel, is because one of my dreams is to be able to affect and reach out to and help large amounts of people. I really, really love scholarship and I love teaching, but I get frustrated personally. I don't think there's actually too much wrong with it in general. There are some cases where it's not so great. Upper level scholarship can get so niche down and specific in things that don't affect the vast majority of people that I decided I wanted to do something a little bit different and explain song lyrics instead of write yet another research paper on Mark Twain's Huckleberry Finn or something like that. I wanted to do something about new music. And so I've been scheming for the masses, much like I think what Dan Reynolds is talking about here. And so I empathize with him. I understand this frustration and this feeling, this wanting to be more and to do more. Well, he goes on to say that people, they would question him. They'd be like, who do you think you are, dreaming about being a big star? And they'd laugh at him, like, what makes you think you can do this? And he calls them out for giving themselves excuses, and then, says, well, in the end of things, I'm the one smiling from the stage, and while you were clapping in the nosebleed. So you didn't dream big, you questioned me, you didn't believe in me, and now look at the different places we've ended up. To borrow a phrase from Imagine Dragons, he's on top of the world. But anyway, that's the basic gist of the lyrics for this song. It's about accomplishing something big, but being that lightning before the thunder. And then in the chorus, we hear the thunder, feel the thunder, lightning and the thunder, thunder. And so that thunder, that word thunder, is rolling over and over and over again, kind of like thunder itself does. Now, the music video in particular I want to talk about because there's some unique stuff going on in there. What we see in the music video is people living normal everyday life. It is in black and white. And then we see 3 colors shooting down from the sky to this planet. And all of a sudden, a lot of those people are gone, and we see these 3 aliens. Well, and then there's Dan Reynolds and the other 3 members of the band. And he's kind of dancing and singing, but the 3 aliens are doing like really crazy dances. They're doing like some pop locking and some contortionist stuff. Like it's really, really crazy, and it's almost inhuman, which makes sense since they're all, made to look like aliens. Now, if you'll notice, there were 3 CGI things affecting each one of them. So their powers and their individuality doesn't only come from a skill that, most humans could learn how to do. Well, I say most, but I don't actually know if that's true. I kind of doubt that I would ever be able to do. Nope, that's wrong. Nope, not gonna work. All right, so something that very few humans could do. Like the girl has like this little flickery tongue. One of the guys, like his shirt does something funny, and the other guy, like they kind of like freeze the frame so it looks like he has 4 arms for a second or something like that. And so I think that these aliens coming down to Earth and being among us, notice that one of them, well, actually there's a lot of sheep everywhere. In one particular shot, one of the aliens is standing among like this small flock of plastic sheep. And it's almost like they're saying that a lot of people are sheep and that those people who are questioning the dreamers are those sheep because they're just going along with whatever the shepherd says. But so they come down, these aliens spread their individuality, they walk on walls, they do all sorts of cool stuff. And the band circles around them or dances around them or is among them, and it's almost as if though they are drawing their inspiration from these otherworldly extraterrestrial forms. Now the band's all dressed in black for the most part, so they actually kind of look like Men in Black, and it's like they're coming for these aliens. It was kind of a cool vibe. But I think that the colors of this music video really speak a lot about what's happening. The aliens came down in the 3 colors, which is an Imagine Dragons sort of like branding from Believer. So it's almost as if though that weird geometric world that was happening up in goodness knows where has sort of like visited Earth in some way. And so this Imagine Dragons song and inspiration and just general uniqueness is going to infect the world. And later on we do see fireworks exploding over the city, which could represent the beginnings of this color revolution. Well, and Imagine Dragons is dressed in black, and I honestly do think that that is a little bit of a Men in Black reference, sort of. It's almost as if though they're aware of this outside world and they are kind of like the gateway between that outside world and the other people in the world. It's like too much of that color and that craziness would just like be too much for the world. And so Imagine Dragons is kind of like taking that, absorbing some of it into their music, as we saw in Believer with all of those cool colors and stuff, and then giving that out to the rest of the world. Now, that's really just a theory, and it may not even be the accurate one, and so I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say about this music video, your thoughts, your feelings, your reactions to it. Please comment those below, along with your suggestions for the next Imagine Dragons song that I should explain next. But just to kind of summarize my thoughts on the music video, I think at the very most basic level, what's happening here is that unique people who can do unique things and have either practiced for it or have some natural talent that they've developed, are able to go out into a world that is black and white, boring, not exciting, but it is crisp and in focus. I mean, that's another thing that a black and white color scale will do for you. Basically, it gives a backdrop for whatever message you're going to say. And they do these unique things, and they kind of begin to spread that imagination in the world, even though they're not necessarily understood by that world. That's all I have to say about the music video for Thunder by Imagine Dragons. I am curious to hear what you guys have to say, and I am looking forward to reading your comments. Do not forget to comment down below. Check out my Patreon if you're interested in getting on the Pop Song Professor train. Checking out some behind-the-scenes podcasts, cool stuff like that. And I thank you guys so much for watching. Talk to you later.